Hey guys, Czar here. Good morning to you. Happy Monday, June the 3rd. We are now into the month of June. Hard to believe. Time flies, doesn't it? We're about 1.5 minutes away from the New York Open, watching the three sisters here. That's the NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow 1 minute charts with VWAP, volume weighted average price, the blue line in the middle. These are 2.5 standard deviations away. Those EMAs, for those who ask, are the 21 and the 9 EMAs. Doesn't really matter what you use within reason. We're just looking for relative deviation from EMAs. Whatever you choose is fine, depending on what your model does, of course, but generally speaking, it doesn't matter that much. Mondays are always interesting. Markets can do whatever they want any day of the week, of course, but Mondays, sometimes they meander. We call them manic Mondays, meandering Mondays, messy Mondays. Moody Mondays, all kinds of different M words, alliterations for Monday. And so I'll be watching to see what happens here. I primarily trade, well, almost exclusively trade the NASDAQ index for the Razor's Edge model, which is what you're seeing right now. Although I do look very closely at all three sisters being the NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow. And I'm looking for things like synchronicity, divergence, relative strength, relative weakness, alignment, misalignment, all those good things, and then coming up with a decision as to what to do. Also considering the higher time frames, in this case the 30-minute and the daily. This is an interesting daily chart here, guys, on all three sisters, of course, but we've had this nice, fairly orderly pullback, significant pullback here, giant reversal on Friday, and now we have broken overnight. We have broken yesterday's high. Looking like we do want to go higher here. We are above both the 21 and the 9 EMAs for now, and the 9 is above the 21. That's a bullish configuration. This is a bull market. That right there is the all-time high in the history of the universe for the NASDAQ. The market's open. This is the first 1 minute candle, and you'll see the 1 minute high, the 1 minute low still forming, of course, or completing, and that will be my 1 minute open range. You can see it here on all three sisters. There's the NASDAQ, there's the S&P 1 minute, and there is the Dow. I'll be cutting out dead air, sideways grinding action, non-teaching moments. Keep this video nice and tight. Be focusing on where the really the teaching moments are, the learning moments, and of course any trades that we may take. I normally do 1 trade per video, often 1 or 2 trades a day for this model. Usually 1, sometimes none if there are no setups. And I have a philosophy that my default position is no trades unless market action or price action gives me no choice. Looking for compelling setups only. I'm on a bit inside the open range here on the NASDAQ, looking to push higher. Weaker on the S&P and weaker on the Dow. The Dow's been marching to its own drummer of late, doing its own thing. Very often the NASDAQ will rally, Dow will sell off, or vice versa. The S&P is usually doing a muted version of the two, in other words, somewhere in the middle, exactly as we're seeing here today. I'll put you on pause, and we'll come back as things develop here. I'm going to be very patient here today on the open. Now, this daily structure is so strong that it's tempting to take a long right out of the gates here without full confluence, but I'm going to wait for that. I need to see agreement amongst the three sisters first. Firming up here on the S&P, not on the Dow. I may ignore the Dow. I've been doing that a lot lately, given that it really is doing its own thing of late. Doesn't always do that, by the way. We can go, several years with pretty high correlation amongst these, and lately there's been significant divergence of behavior. And so this is all about dancing with whatever the market brings, including change of structure, but also change of nature or personality. And we sometimes get that for extended periods of time. Not doing anything yet. And driving down now, rejecting at this fairly key resistance here on the 30-minute chart. You see that there? This could be interesting, guys. We're watching this. Three sisters. Now firming up on the Dow and weakening on the NASDAQ. You see that divergence that I was talking about? And so sometimes you need to just understand that that's the way the relationship is working right now. in the same way as human relationships take on different phases and cycles. Bottom of the range here on the S&P, weak on the Dow, trying to rally on the NASDAQ. That's a mixed picture. Nothing for me to do here except to be patient and wait. All right, guys. Just placing a marker here, guys. This is not a trade. It's not an actual order yet. Okay, one moment. All right, buy stop order, guys, right there. Buy stop order. That is a live order now. Very strong daily structure. 30 minutes a little more iffy. But on a Monday open, anything's possible. Be looking for 1 hour here. And I'm in, guys. And I'm in. I got triggered in right there. Long the NASDAQ, firming up on the S&P and on the Dow. Let me show that to you. See that there? Rallying on the S&P, trying to rally on the Dow, and above here on the NASDAQ into a small, clean traffic range on the 30-minute chart. And of course, very bullish structure on the daily after a significant pullback and a big reversal day on Friday. And this could, in fact, be followed through, and that's what I'm counting on. Doesn't mean that's going to happen. Certainly no guarantees here. All right, guys, moving my stop to break even here to play it safe on this Monday right to here. And we'll see where we go from here. Dynamically managing this trade. All right, guys, so stopped out there at break even. And as a few of my viewers have asked, I'm going to keep the video going to see how this trade plays out. Whenever I do a dynamic exit, like moving my stop to break even like I just did now, a couple of viewers at least have asked that I keep the video going to see if that was a resourceful decision or not. So I'll let this play out and we'll see how this trade ends. But it's a break even trade for me. All right, guys, you can see that we are selling down for the time being here towards the 1 hour stop area. And I'll just explain to you why I moved my stop to break even. First of all, we're on Monday, meandering Monday, messy Monday, moody Monday. But also the 3 sisters that were showing strength at the time of my entry, all of a sudden, or after a couple of candles, began to round over and show weakness and then start to sell off significantly. And so I wanted to protect this, and sure enough, we are in fact selling down and out, guys. And there it is. So break even for this trade. Thankfully, it did work, and that's a dynamic trade management. Hope you have an amazing day, guys. Maybe we'll see you again this afternoon. Who knows? Talk to you soon.